In this video, we will explain absolutely everything you need to know to travel to Cusco, the navel of the world and the archaeological capital of the Americas. This is the definitive guide and the most complete video you will watch today about the city that serves as a base to visit the world wonder Machu Picchu. We will cover everything from the complex logistics of how to avoid the terrible altitude sickness that knocks down many tourists upon arrival, how to buy train tickets and entrance fees to the lost city with the correct advance notice so as not to be left out, and where to eat the tenderest alpaca meat of your life. So let us get started. Cusco is not just a stopover city. It is an open-air museum where the walls of Spanish colonial buildings were built on the perfect stone foundations of Inca temples. It is a mystical city located at 11,000 feet of altitude, where Andean culture is alive in the colorful clothes of women walking with llamas through the cobblestone streets. It is an affordable, fascinating destination with an energy you cannot find anywhere else in the world. Now let us move on to logistics and planning. What is the best time to visit Cusco? The climate in the Andes is divided into two well-marked seasons. The dry season runs from May to October. This is the best time by far. The sky is blue, it is sunny every day, and the chances of rain are minimal, ensuring perfect photos of Machu Picchu. However, it gets very cold at night and early in the morning. The rainy season runs from November to April. From January to March, it rains a lot. And we do not recommend going, as trains to Machu Picchu can be canceled due to landslides and mountain visibility becomes poor. And how many days to stay in Cusco? The region is huge. To do the necessary acclimatization, visit the city, the Sacred Valley, and Machu Picchu. The absolute minimum is 5 days. If you want to include the Rainbow Mountain or Humante Lake, set aside 7 days. Now let us talk about transportation and how to get around Cusco. To arrive, you will fly to Lima, and from there take a 1 hour and 20-minute flight to Cusco Airport. Do not take a bus from Lima to Cusco, as it is over 20 hours on a dangerous road. To get around inside the city, the historic center is done on foot, but remember that air is scarce on the way up. Uber works very well and is extremely cheap, with rides costing $2 to $3. To go on tours in the Sacred Valley and train stations, you will need to hire tours with vans or private drivers. We do not recommend renting a car in Cusco. The roads are winding, signage is precarious, and local traffic is aggressive. Staying in a good region will make your trip much easier. The strategy in Cusco is stay in the flat part. The number one rule is to avoid hotels that are at the top of slopes if you do not have the physical condition of an athlete, because the altitude makes your heart race with any effort. The first option, and the best of all, is the historic center around the Plaza de Armas and Avenida El Sol. It is the flat part close to all restaurants, exchange houses, and agencies. You do everything walking without getting tired. The second option is the San Blas neighborhood. It is the most charming, artistic, and bohemian neighborhood with narrow white streets. However, it sits at the top of a steep climb. Only stay there if the hotel has easy taxi access or if you have good breath. The third option is to stay in Urubamba in the Sacred Valley. It is an option for those who want to escape the altitude in the first few days, as it is lower than Cusco, and want to stay in luxury resort-type hotels in the middle of nature. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best central region to stay. Staying near the Plaza de Armas, you cannot go wrong. We will leave here on the screen QR code and in the video description the link to this exclusive map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and reliable options. We will also leave links to the hotels we have already stayed at and approved. In all destinations, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located for those who want to save money, and another that is a little better in the same location but a little more expensive with more comfort. These are great options tested by us. An important tip to save on accommodation is the advanced strategy. Cusco receives tourists from all over the world all year round. Hotels with heating essential in the Andean cold and good showers sell out fast. That is why we really like using this site we indicated. In addition to having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation with almost all hotels. You can book as soon as possible to guarantee a much lower price, and if you need to cancel later due to any change of plans, it is super easy and at no cost. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price on a single page. The sites we use to build our trips, and that have everything much cheaper, such as international eSIM cell phone chip, to have internet in the mountains, travel insurance with discount that covers altitude disputed tickets for Machu Picchu, and train good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account to carry dollars. Save this page in your favorites. Now let us get to the main attractions with details you cannot miss. Attraction number 1 is Machu Picchu. Although it is not inside Cusco, it is the reason for the trip. You need to take a train Inca Rail or Peru Rail, leaving from Ollantaytambo or Poroy Station to the village of Aguas Calientes. From there, go up by bus to the citadel. Machu Picchu is the lost city of the Incas, hidden in the clouds. It is an inexplicable energy, vital attention. The ticket for Machu Picchu has a daily limit, and sells out 3 or 4 months in advance in the high season. Do not leave it to buy on the spot. There are different circuits. Circuit 1 or 2 are the best for the classic photo. Attraction number 2 is the Plaza de Armas and the Cathedral of Cusco. It is the heart of the city. The cathedral is immense and was built with stones stolen from the neighboring Inca fortress. Inside, look for the painting of the Last Supper, where Jesus is eating a Kai guinea pig, an incredible detail of local culture. Attraction number 3 is the Coricancha Temple of the Sun. It was the most important temple of the Inca Empire, where the walls were lined with sheets of solid gold. The Spanish built the convent of Santo Domingo on top of it, but the Inca stone walls with perfect fittings without cement are still there supporting everything. It is impressive. Attraction number 4 is Sacsayhuaman. It is an archaeological complex that sits high up in Cusco. The stones there are gigantic, some weigh more than 100 tons, and no one can explain how they were moved and fitted with such precision. The view of the city from up there is beautiful. Attraction number 5 is the Sacred Valley of the Incas. It is a full-day tour. You visit Peak, famous for its craft market and ruins on the mountain, and Ollantaytambo, a living Inca city where people still live in original stone houses, and where the fortress that defended the valley is located. Attraction number 6 is the Maras salt mines and Moray. Moray is an Inca agricultural laboratory in the shape of concentric circles that looks like an amphitheater. Maras is a set of thousands of white salt wells embedded in the mountain, creating a surreal landscape for photos. Attraction number 7 is the Rainbow Mountain Vinicunca. It is 3 hours from Cusco. It is a mountain with strips of 7 mineral colors. It is beautiful but very difficult to reach as it is at 16,000 feet of altitude. Only go if you are already acclimatized and in good shape. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance, especially the train to Machu Picchu and the entrance to the Citadel. We will leave in the QR code on the screen and in the description the link to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the lowest price. It is the largest tour site in the world and has everything there, including the Cusco tourist ticket that gives access to several ruins. Now, let us move on to gastronomy. The food in Cusco is spectacular. The most controversial and traditional dish is cuy the guinea pig, which is served roasted whole with head and all. It tastes like chicken and has crispy skin. Another very common meat is alpaca, which is red lean and super healthy, usually served as a grilled fillet. It is delicious. Also try lomo saltado and drink plenty of chicha morada purple corn juice. For altitude, coca tea is a holy remedy and served everywhere. For restaurant suggestions, Morena Peruvian Kitchen is beautiful, modern, and has incredible food. Cicciolina is a classic for dinner with tapas and wines. Make a reservation. To eat cheaply and well, the San Pedro Market offers local meals for very low prices as well as fresh juices. Quick and in-depth shopping tips. Cusco is paradise for craft shopping. The star product is alpaca wool. Be careful not to buy synthetic thinking it is alpaca. Baby alpaca is the softest and most expensive wool. Buy at the Center for Traditional Textiles to ensure quality, or at boutique stores near the square. The San Pedro Market is great for cheap souvenirs, colorful sweaters, and silver. Always haggle in the markets. What to do at night? Nightlife in Cusco is lively, but remember that alcohol hits harder at altitude. The bars around the Plaza de Armas are the meeting point. Mama Africa is a legendary club that plays Latin and electronic rhythms. República del Pisco is great for tasting different types of pisco sour with live music. And if you are traveling with kids, kids love Cusco because of the animals. On the street, they will see many women with llamas and baby alpacas to take photos. Give a tip. The Choco Museo offers workshops where kids make their own chocolate. Just be extra careful with tiredness and hydration because of the thin air. Mandatory documentation for international tourists. To enter Peru, you generally need a valid passport. U.S. citizens do not need a visa. And remembering travel insurance. Medical costs in Peru are expensive for tourists, and so roach altitude sickness is real. Many people need to go to the hospital to get oxygen. We never travel without it. And in the link in the description, there is the comparator we use, which covers adventure sports. And to combine your trip, Cusco combines perfectly with Lima, the gastronomic capital. If you have time, take the Andean Explorer tourist train or a bus to Puno to visit Lake Titicaca. Another option is to go down to the Amazon rainforest in Puerto Maldonado, which is a short flight away. If you liked this complete and deep guide, like the video and subscribe to our channel to travel more and better around the world. Thank you very much and have a safe trip.